Hey, what's up guys? It's Eclihpse here, and today we're going to be going over the 5 weapons with the lowest recoil in Call of Duty Mobile. So in COD Mobile, low recoil weapons just so happen to be my favorite. There's a few reasons for this. The first one is that they are extremely good at a range. Since there's barely any recoil, they're really easy to control, so if the enemy is medium to long distance, the odds are you're gonna win that gunfight and get more kills. So in today's video, I have compiled the top 5 weapons that have the lowest recoil spread, meaning that if you're using these weapons and you find yourself in medium to long distance, you should be winning that gunfight every single time. So if you learned something new in today's video, leave a like down below, remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications. If you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy all of my content. One disclaimer before we begin, I just want to give a massive shout out to HawksNest. He posted this recoil chart to Twitter, and that's honestly what I used to make this video. So this picture compares the recoil of every single weapon with and without a foregrip. So I pretty much used this picture to figure out which weapons have the lowest / easiest to control recoil. Getting on with the list though, in the number 5 spot, we have the M4. Out of all of the weapons featured in today's video, this is by far the worst. It's not necessarily a bad gun, it's just the worst out of all of the other guns in this video. Overall, the M4 is just an average gun. I mean, it's literally the first gun you unlock in the game. So it's not like crazy overpowered, but it's not completely crappy either. It's literally just an average gun. The reason the M4 is making the list though is because it has super low recoil, and since it has really low recoil, it also has a really slow fire rate. So that's kind of why I don't like the gun that much. It has no recoil, which is a plus, but it shoots slow, so that's a negative. In this particular gameplay, I was playing frontline on Summit, and I was kind of spawn trapping them for quite some time. Eventually though, I died and I returned back to the same spot, and here was some medium to long range engagement, and the M4 was just crushing it every time. Even if I got shot first, I was still eliminating them. None of the enemies really came close to killing me at all. And with all of the other weapons featured in this video, I got my VTOL warship pretty easily, but with the M4, I didn't quite get the VTOL. I don't know if my team was really bad or what. I mean, we ended up losing and I had like 20 to 30 kills, so it really didn't make sense, but the M4, it's just an all-around average gun. So moving on to the number 4 spot, here we have the HG40. And now I knew the HG40 was a beast prior to recording this video, but looking at this recoil chart, the white is what it looks like with grip and the gray is what it looks like without a grip. The recoil is pretty much the same with or without a foregrip, and that's what makes the HG40 super awesome. It's kind of like an assault rifle in terms of the range, because you can shred people across the map, but at the end of the day, it is a submachine gun. So you still get those long range benefits of an assault rifle, but then you have the fire rate, mobility, and damage of a submachine gun. In this gameplay, I was on Crash and I was kind of just spawn camping. I was in this building and I was listening for their footsteps to see where they would spawn. Eventually, I had a sentry gun down to help out, and this HG40 was doing so good, I ran out of ammo and I actually had to switch weapons to this AK-117. It's at this point that I called in my first VTOL warship, and notice I said the first because I actually end up getting 2 in this life. So we're still in the number 4 spot, focused on the HG40, but I just want to give a big shout out to the AK-117. I think this is a good mention. Looking at the recoil chart, like, it looks like it has some random sporadic recoil, but when you're in game, it doesn't feel that way at all. Like, I'm just shredding people. I nearly get a long range triple kill. This thing has a crazy fire rate, but very minimal recoil. And eventually, I got my second VTOL because of it. So the number 4 spot was mainly the HG40, but I picked up the AK-117 in the gameplay. So both of those weapons, the HG and the AK, are phenomenal. Now moving on to the number 3 spot, here we have the M4 LMG. Looking at the recoil chart, it's kind of like a circle for the recoil pattern. Now I joined this game late and I had to blow myself up to change my class, and I was just camping behind this barrier the entire time. If you're on kill house, come to this spot right here and just strafe to the left and the right. The enemy won't be able to kill you. It's a super overpowered spot, and in this gameplay I didn't end up getting my VTOL warship, but I was just shredding the enemy. I think I did die twice, but one was to a Sparrow and I think the second time was to a sentry gun. Literally just come here, zoom in, go to the left and right, and whenever you see people, just mow them down. The thing that makes the M4 so lethal is not only does it have low recoil, it has a tremendously big magazine, so you don't have to reload often, and in this particular gameplay I had the fast mag attachment, so when I did have to reload, it didn't take much longer than a regular assault rifle would. So I was just mowing people down. The M4 is definitely a beast if you want a slower playing style. Moving on to the next weapon though, here we have the ICR. Now this is one of the newer guns, so you may not have it unlocked yet. I actually did a gemming video and got super lucky and pulled the ICR dark matter from a crate. So if you don't have this gun, just admire the gameplay until you get your hands on it, because this thing is an absolute laser. It'll just shred people close range, medium, long range. It doesn't matter where they're at, no one is going to stand a chance. This particular gameplay was just a basic game of Nuketown. I held down the middle of the map. I was shooting people in their spawn, shooting people by the car if they pushed me. No matter where they were, they just got smacked. And then once I got my Sparrow, it was pretty much game over. I shot a few times and I ended up getting my VTOL very easily. And the VTOL was doing super good on this map, but people were smart. They were actually just hiding in the house, so I was only able to focus on like 1 to 2 people while the other 3 were just camping inside. And other than that, I don't have much to say about the ICR. It's just all around a really good gun. It sort of reminds me of like the M4 assault rifle, but upgraded. It's gonna have very minimal recoil, but it has a much better fire rate than the M4, and I feel like it just takes down the enemy a little bit quicker. If you don't have the ICR yet, I recommend the LK24 or the AK117. I get similar vibes using both of those guns that I get using the ICR. And now moving on to the number 1 spot, there's actually 2 weapons that have the lowest recoil in the game, and this is the M16 and the Chico. Now both of these weapons are burst fire, so it's kind of unfair to say that they have the lowest recoil, but since they shoot in bursts, they by default have the lowest recoil. It doesn't mean they're the best, but they do have the lowest recoil. So let's take a look at the M16 first. I actually included this in my 5 worst weapons in COD Mobile, and after recording this video, I have to admit, it's not as bad as I had originally thought. I was expecting it to be absolutely awful, but in this gameplay, it was lasering people. I was shooting people in like 1 to 2 bursts. There were people far range, close range. Wherever they were, the M16 was just doing really good. One suggestion I have is don't use the holographic, use the red dot. That's totally the move. I don't know why I had the holographic on. I just thought it looked cool and I just put it on, but no, red dot all the way. And I was just shredding these people. I eventually got the VTOL warship and the game was over. And when it comes to the Chico, this gun is genuinely bad. I think I said the M4 was the worst gun in this video, but I take that back. The Chico is genuinely bad. It has a crazy fast fire rate, and even though it has a low recoil, I just get so overwhelmed and I don't like it at all. Whenever a weapon has a fast fire rate like the MSMC, I just don't know how to play the gun and I kind of just choke up and play awful. And that's how I was playing with the Chico. It just shot really fast and I felt like I was dying, whereas if I had other guns, I wouldn't have died. Now eventually I found a really good strat, and it's such a newbie strategy, but I put a sentry gun behind me to guard their half of the map, and then I was just camping here waiting for the enemies. So the game started off pretty rough, but as time went on, I did kind of adapt with the Chico a little bit, but I feel like if the fire rate was toned back ever so slightly, this weapon would be absolutely lethal. Now that concludes it for my list of the 5 weapons with the lowest recoil in Call of Duty Mobile. If you learned something new or if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and remember to turn on post notifications, because if you like this video, you'll definitely enjoy my other content. Big shout out to @HawksNest for posting this recoil chart to Twitter. I love you. You're the reason I was able to make this video, so big credit to you. Now, that was everything I have to say. I hope you enjoyed today's Call of Duty Mobile video. This has been Eclihpse. Thank you for watching, and peace out.